Hello everyone. This is Kathy Wilkes of Kathy Wilkes & Co. And I am here with our spotlight on behalf of elite women around the world and Gift of Kindness. Today we're spotlighting Jana Sedlakova. Jana, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Kathy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Thank you. We are, Jana, you and I have been chatting about your book. And I would love to start out by you telling the audience a little bit about your book, maybe how you got involved in writing and what really inspired you to create this amazing opportunity for people to step into your work through your writing.
Oh, excellent. Yes, I will be very happy to share. So the story actually was written. It was amazing because I always contemplated to write a book. When I was little, I always dreamt about, oh, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book one day. So if you believe or not, I woke up 2 a.m., wrote a story, went back to sleep at 4 a.m. Then I woke up at 7, read the story. I said, this is a great story. So it wasn't really that I was sitting with a paper and thinking, what am I going to write? No, it just came and it just flew. And the story is wonderful. And it's designed to help people. Now, we target children, but it's for everyone. It really is up to 100 years old, because it's covering social emotional intelligence, which is so important in our lives. And without it, you can be very well educated, but you don't have the social emotional intelligence background or stamina, and you really can fall in lives very, very badly or very deeply. So
this is such an important topic, and your background is fascinating. 2 degrees over in Europe. You do speaking, a lot of work with children now, but your work is not exclusive to children. What you and I were talking about is that the lessons within the book are timeless, and think about the time in history where we are in our society and the need for social and emotional intelligence. Tell us a little bit about your work with children and how the book is impacting them, and not only just the child or the student itself, but really moving in and throughout the family as well.
Excellent. So yes. So I always teach children. I'm also a life coach. So I always teach children I help them to realize that they have the power over their own brain and thoughts, and they can be the author of their life, not the victim of somebody's else thoughts and words. And so the book is basically about that. It's a story about a boy who was said something mean by his friend, and this boy couldn't sleep at night. And feelings can do a lot of things to us, right? So then I created this character, which is going to be a lot of other books. I'm in writing, and we're working on publishing as well. So, and she comes to him and helps him and guides him through not only what feelings can do to us, but how can we change the feelings with our own thoughts. And that those are things children don't know. And not only children, adults do not know. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, not every thought is going to be beneficial, and not every thought is going to be driving you to your best being or best behavior, or, the belief system you really need and want for life to succeed and be happy and, achieve things and just be a good human being. So some of the thoughts might come because they were said to us from friend or from colleague or somebody out there. And we just don't know what to do with the thoughts, right? We don't know how to combat it. We don't know how to reject it. We don't even know that we can reject that thought, right?
So, right. True. The power is within, right?
Yes, exactly.
The power is within us. You and I were talking about neuroscience and your work specifically around the mind. And this is a great segue, because what you're saying, what I hear you saying, Jana, is that we have the power to direct our thoughts with our mind to create what we want, to create the life that we want. Is that true?
Yes, Kathy, it's true if we know we have that choice. And that's what I have been educating people on. It's always a choice. Everything is choice. Love is choice. Hate is choice. Your thoughts are a choice when you know you have the choice. When you think about Nelson Mandela, he was in a prison and he said that he found freedom in prison. Why? He found it in his mind first. He didn't find it in his body, because he was still in prison cell, but in his mind, he was free because he thought that way. Mm-hmm. And there's documentation of many great people out there like Viktor Frankl. I recommend all my adults his book, Man's Search for Meaning, because it's about how he was in Holocaust, and he was thinking not about the conditions where he was in, but he was thinking about things which were connected to his family, being outside, being, free somewhere in the green grass and having picnic with his family. And that kept him healthy. That kept him strong. And literally the Nazis were actually respecting him because he had that presence of confidence, even in the most horrible conditions you could ever imagine to be at. So it's mind is so important, and the education of mind needs to start with children. It's too late to do it when you're 60. Yes, you can get something out of it as well. I mean, I have clients all spectrum of ages, but when you're a child, you can train the brain to think that way, meaning you can educate children that they can use the brain as their tool, not that the brain is overcoming them. But I love when children say, oh, so I can tell the brain what to do. I'm like,
I love that.
And they get it. They're like 5 years old, 7 years old, they're 10 years old,
Yeah.
And when I go present this book to children in schools, so what is fascinating to me, that I always ask them, what did you learn? What you did not know? Mm-hmm. And almost all the time I hear this, I did not know that my thoughts are connected to my emotions, and I can change my emotions by thinking different thoughts.
Yes. Oh, wow. So powerful. Such a powerful segment, Jana. Thank you so much for being here with us. So if our listeners want to get in touch with you, tell us some ways that they can connect with you.
So I'm sorry, there was a disconnect phone call. So yeah, I would like to show everybody the book first. So this is how the book looks like. It's a first book of a series of I Wonder Star. So the character is called I Wonder Star, and this first book is I Wonder Star and Happy Peter. It's basically helping Peter to realize how can he be happy again, and what can he do to be happy. Throughout the book, he also empowers his parents. He helps the friend who was not nice to him to realize that he has a power over his own thoughts too. And he also encourages him to find out what made him being not nice to him. And he found out, this friend found out, oh, I was not nice because somebody else was not nice to me. And that was my brother in the morning. And I took that feeling with me. So, there was, so it's a great story for everyone, not just children. It really, whoever wants to get empowered, even when I read it, I read it twice, 3 times before I go to school, to present it to children. And I go, this is great. I just feel so good because, we need constant reminder. The brain needs constant reminder. Yes, this is how we can live. We can be happy. And it's the way how we think and what we think. And we can choose it. That's our choice. Absolutely. So, yes, so the book you can get it on our website, which is iwonderstar.com. Very simple, iwonderstar.com. Okay. Or it can be purchased on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's online. And I think, that's for now about it. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, and our listeners can follow you on those platforms as well. So when your follow-on books come out, they'll be notified of that. But this is really, it's an exciting topic. What overall I hear you talking about is that we can empower ourselves by the way that we think. And what you're doing is so needed in our communities now, in our school systems, and in society. And that is helping children take back their power and realizing that they have the power to create their lives. They're not a victim of the conditions and circumstances, but they can take control and make choices and learn to make good choices. So thank you, Jana, for being here with us today. Any final words before we sign off?
Yeah, so I would like to say a couple more things. So the second book, which is already in a print and it's going to be probably for sale in September, it's called I Understand and Beautiful Sarah. It's about beauty. But the third one, it's about bullying. It's called I Understand and Bullied Zola. And we're right now illustrating it in Ukraine. I have my illustrator is from Ukraine. So, how timing is that, right? Like, I mean, they're being bullied in their own country, and the book is being illustrated there. But that's a very powerful book too, because there's what I always was driven by, knowing that there's so many children who are struggling and they don't know what to do, and I'm talking about struggling to the point that they want to take their own lives, and some of them are successful in doing so. And I'm like, no child should ever think that way or do that. And how can we help them? It's because they don't know that the thought really doesn't have a power unless you accept it, right? So if thought like that comes, you don't have to be the victim of that thought and act on it. So yeah, I'm a big advocate for children, to help them through struggles and to really empower them to be the great next generation,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Creating awareness around this, particularly the topic of bullying, is so timely, with social media, and the thought of, you see something and you think it's real, but it's not necessarily reality. And it doesn't have to be a person's reality, even, if they're viewing it. So such important topics. I could talk to you for hours, Jana. We'll have to do this again. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kathy. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for viewing this spotlight. If you have any questions, post them in the chat. Jana will be happy to answer them, or I will be happy to answer them. But we look forward to seeing you on the next spotlight shortly. You guys have a great day.